currently in the Northwest Territories, and we just finished driving up the Dempster Highway to Tuktoyaktuk. We were originally going to stop here in Inuvik on our way up to Tuktoyaktuk, but the weather was so nice that we were eager to get up to the Arctic Ocean so we could swim in it while the weather was still nice. But now we're on our way back down, and we decided that now it's time to explore here in Inuvik, and our first stop is here at the Visitor Center.
Inuvik's a really interesting place. It's the largest city in Canada that's within the Arctic Circle, and there's about 3,000 to 4,000 people that live here. So for an Arctic town, this is a big city, and it's really interesting to see how people live up here and how a city can function in such an extreme environment.
So we just stopped in at the visitor center, and they had tons of information about the culture, the landscape, all the animals. They had carvings, and it just had so much cool information about the culture here.
They also had free, they made us up these little certificates for visiting the Arctic Circle in the Northwest Territories, personalized with our names. Really cool. And they had free coffee. It's such a great place.
We also missed a workshop held by Tana Simpson, who owns the company Kiviat Inc. And she taught us all kinds of information about the muskox and how they harvest it, what they do with the leathers, and then how they harvest the Kiviat out of the fur. And she uses a fork to pull it out. And the Kiviat is very, very, very soft, and it's warmer than down, and it's 8 times warmer than wool.
It was incredible. We got to pick it up, and we just held it in our hands for a little while, and it warmed up our hands. It was so lightweight, such an amazing insulator. It's really cool how the people up here were able to use that for a long time to keep themselves toasty warm in even the harshest climate.
She also explained that how when you grab the fibers and you squish it down really small, it just kind of puffs back up, so it never flattens out. And she just takes this material and sticks it in her gloves and sticks it in her boots, and then when she takes them out, they just pop back up, and then she can wash them with water.
Overall, it's one of the coolest materials I've ever seen. Its properties are so perfect for what they use it for. Lightweight, super insulative, very soft, and readily available up here. So it's really amazing how something like that is right where you need it.
She also knitted a hat made of Kiviat, and I picked it up, and it was thinner and much more lightweight than the hat that I'm wearing, and much more warm. So definitely something I might invest in one day.
Also so soft. It was amazing.
Yeah, I couldn't get over how soft it was.
Yeah, it's really an incredible material.
I'm kind of disappointed we missed out on the workshop, but it was still really nice of her to teach us a little bit of stuff in about, 15 minutes? She spent about 15 minutes with us just teaching us all kinds of stuff about it.
And now I'm even more excited to hopefully get to see some muskox on the Dalton Highway in Alaska this winter.
Now we're gonna head over and do some shopping in town. We want to get some souvenirs before all the stores close because there was none in Tuktoyaktuk, so we're hoping to find some here. So that's where we're gonna head now. So we finally found some souvenirs. They didn't have a massive selection of souvenirs, but I like to collect pins from all the places that I go. So I found one for Inuvik. Actually, Will found it for me. And there was nothing for Tuktoyaktuk, unfortunately, which makes sense because we're down in Inuvik. But I found this one, so this one will kind of represent Tuktoyaktuk. And since I really wanted something that said Tuktoyaktuk, I decided to get a magnet. And then I got a bunch of postcards that I'm going to send back to my family. And I got a few more gifts, but I can't show them on camera because then the people will see them. I don't want them to see them.
And I got my sticker. I was wanting a Tuktoyaktuk sticker. It's not perfect, but it's pretty. It has the aurora on it. It's big. I guess it's a notable place because it starts our big adventure, so might as well be a big sticker.
So we're getting stickers for every place that we go, and the only nice Tuktoyaktuk sticker we could find was, how big was it?
It's this big.
Yeah, it's like that. Yeah, it's way bigger than our other stickers that are this big around. maximum.
Hey, but Tuktoyaktuk's a much bigger place.
So now we're gonna just walk down the street and just go explore some of the other little stores and other little places around here. I also got another souvenir up in Tuktoyaktuk, but it doesn't really fully represent Tuktoyaktuk. But it's so cute!
It's named Amarok, and it's like part of this whole collection, I guess, called Passportkins.
Travelkins. It's Amarok the wolf. She loves the snow. Actually, it's a he, but I call it a she. On his frequent visits to the Arctic regions, he wears a traditional polar coat decorated with Inuit geometric symbols to keep warm and safe when he stays at his friend's igloo. But isn't he just the cutest? It's adorable. And he has a little hood that I could put up, but it's hard to do that with one hand.
The weather up here changes really quickly. This morning it was cold and rainy, but now the sun's out and it's warming up really quick. Also, the people up here are so friendly. People just say hi and welcome to the north, and it just makes you feel really welcome.
Yeah, almost every person you see here stops just to say hi and welcome us to the community. It's really cool. Nice.
Yeah.
And the sun's really bright right now, and my eyes are really sensitive when the light changes drastically, so that's why I'm all squinty. So we are on Mackenzie Street, and right behind us we have the Igloo Church. It's the most photographed landmark in all of Inuvik.
Yeah, it was built in 1960 by volunteers without blueprints, and it's pretty cool. We saw it when we first came in. It was sunny out, and the roof tiles reflect really beautifully. It's kind of a unique building for sure.
When I told my family there was an Igloo Church here in Inuvik, they were all pretty disappointed when they realized that it wasn't an actual igloo.
Would have been cool if it was made of ice, but it still looks like an igloo. You got all the chunks there, and it looks pretty cool. Very northern for sure.
So it's a Roman Catholic church, and its name is Our Lady of Victory. So we got lucky as we were passing by the church. There was a little tour going on. It's a free tour that happens almost every day at 5:15, and we got to learn a lot of the history about the church. One of the craziest things that we learned though is that this church costs $3,000 a month in the winter to heat.
That's a lot of money. We also learned that the person who built it didn't know how to have any construction knowledge, didn't know how to write blueprints or read blueprints, and he just kind of made it work, and it worked really well. We also got to ask some really interesting questions about Inuvik in general. So they have to wait 4 to 6 weeks every spring and fall for the rivers to freeze and then break up, where there's no ferry access, so just really no access to town. And those times a year they have to conserve gas and other resources because they're not getting more.
So if you're ever up in Inuvik, make sure to stop by the church around 5:15 on Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays?
Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays.
Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. So there's not many restaurants here in Inuvik. We wanted to go to Alistine's, which looked like it had really good fish tacos and fish and chips, but unfortunately when we stopped by, it was closed. I don't know if it's closed permanently, but there was a review a week ago, so it might still be open, and we just got unlucky. So we decided to get Eva's Pizza. And here it is. That tiny little 10-inch pizza cost us $30, so I hope it's a good pizza. We are at Boot Lake. This is going to be our last adventure here in Inuvik before we head off, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. This trail is about
1.8 miles.
Yeah, 1.8 miles. I don't know what that is in kilometers.
Roughly
like four-ish.
Yeah, something, yeah.
Four-ish kilometers. So we're gonna go for a little walk around here, check it out, and then we'll be on our way. There's not a whole lot to do here in Inuvik, but if you come in the summer and you're here during the Northern Games or the Great Northern Arts Festival, you should definitely check those things out.
And as a bonus, if you're needing a place to stay here in Inuvik, this little Boot Lake trailhead area seems to be a good place to park your van for the night. So yeah. Just a little tip.
That's where we stayed last night, and it was pretty good.
Yep.
So far it's just a nice little hike through the forest, and it seems like a lot of it's boardwalk. Will found something over there. What'd you find?
Flower, I think it's like the leafless flower. I forget what it's called. I'm gonna send it to my mom to ask.
Anyways, this trail seems mostly like it's a boardwalk for quite a ways. I'm not sure if it goes all the way around the lake, but I guess we'll find out.
I'm gonna throw Cave out. Were you recording that?
Go on, please continue.
No.
So on our hike, we came across some cloudberries.
It's pretty cool. These berries are some of the most valuable fruit on earth. It can be like $200 a pound.
And they are one of the rarest berries on earth.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool to find them here. Unfortunately, they aren't quite ripe yet, so we don't get to enjoy them, but somebody's going to get to enjoy them on this hike, so it's really cool.
Could be you. So we just finished our hike around Boot Lake. Half of the lake was like a boardwalk trail, and then the other half was a dirt path for the rest of the way. It was a pretty easy hike. I wouldn't say there's anything too spectacular about it, but if you're up this way and you need to stretch your legs after driving the Dempster Highway, it's definitely a great place to stop and get some exercise.
And it's also kind of cool to get a chance to walk through the like subarctic forest up here. I guess it's actually like fully arctic. I think it's a taiga forest, but it's kind of cool to see the different plants, and maybe you'll see some animals. But overall, it was an enjoyable hike.
So we actually do have one more stop. We're gonna head back to the community center where we could get a shower for $2.50.
Yeah, or free maybe if you're lucky.
Yeah, we got a free shower last time, but this time it might be $2.50, which is totally fine. That's a pretty good deal for a shower, and they're probably some of the best showers we've had on this trip so far.
Yep, you get your own like private room. It's quite nice. Definitely recommend.
So if you're driving the Dempster Highway, Inuvik is definitely worth the stop just to check out a couple of places and do a walking tour and a hike around Boot Lake.
It's cool to see Arctic City. It's probably one of the only true Arctic cities you can drive to.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit that like button so you can keep following along on the rest of our adventures.
And don't forget to hit the bell so you're notified each time we upload.
We'll see you in the next one.